Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Kerr. I am going to help you get started with the Who Am I PT Practice Worksheet. This is in your Week 10 module. All right, couple things before we get started. You do need to have a periodic table out in front of you. I have a hard copy because that's what I like looking at. In front of me, I know you can't see me right now. I have my webcam off so that you can see all of my screen and nothing gets blocked by that picture. But I have linked up a periodic table here that we'll use for these purposes, and if you're remote, this would be a good option. So Cohort R, you're going to submit this online here as I'm showing, and then if you are Cohort A and B, you're going to do this on paper. But if you're absent, you're going to submit it on here if you don't ever get the paper copy, obviously. So this is set up as a quiz, but it's not a quiz. It is just an assignment, and basically you're just answering the questions in a quiz. So you'll see kind of resume quiz here, okay? And I already started this earlier. Let me reset. So it should say take quiz, and I've got my periodic table while that's doing that. I've got my periodic table open in my other window. Now remember that on this periodic table, this is the one you would have for your EOG, the groups are labeled up at the top, 1 through 18. The periods are not labeled, and you'll need to know those for this worksheet. So remember that hydrogen starts period 1, and that goes all the way across. Lithium starts period 2, and it goes all the way across. Period 3, period 4, period 5, period 6, period 7. So there are 7 periods on the periodic table, hence the name periodic table, okay? So that might be helpful. Let me go back to my assignment here. So you'll see this is just basically a worksheet. You can read the directions, but basically you are practicing using the periodic table. And here is a reminder that the atomic number equals the number of protons, the atomic mass equals the number of protons plus neutrons in the nucleus, and then the number of electrons equals the number of protons. So you're going to click on take the quiz. Now all of this information is going to stay at the top, so don't be afraid that you're going to lose it once you click to go to the questions. You are going to have to scroll up and down to get to the questions though. So let's do the first couple together. So number 1 says that it's a nonmetal, it's in the halogen family, and it has atomic mass of 35. So I'm going to come over to my periodic table. I can increase in here a little bit so I can see these a little bit better. It said nonmetal, so my focus is to the right of the staircase. It said halogen family, so I'm in group 17 here. And then it said atomic mass of 35. Now this one's tricky because we have the atomic number 35 here, bromine, and we have chlorine, which has an atomic mass of 35.45. So again, just be really careful because remember our clue over here is atomic mass of 35. So we actually want chlorine, right? We don't want bromine. Bromine is atomic number of 35. This is atomic mass. So we're going to come over here, scroll down to question 1. These are the hints again at the top of the question, and we're just going to type in chlorine. All right, let's do number 2. Number 2 says 25 electrons, and it's a transition element. So when I go to my periodic table, I'm going to focus in on my transition elements, which is group 3 through 12, and I want 25 electrons, right? 25 electrons is the clue. So 25 electrons would be the atomic number of 25, excuse me. So that is Mn right here, manganese. So the transition metal clue helps us focus on where we're finding it, and then we can go to the atomic number 25 because that tells us the amount of electrons, and we're going to type in manganese. All right, now obviously some of these are hard to pronounce, some hard to spell. You have the periodic table, so do your best at spelling. Zoom in if you need to, as far as you need to get it spelled correctly. If you're a letter or so off, not a big deal. We're not going to count that wrong or anything. But obviously we need to be able to tell what you're spelling. All right, so on some of these, let me go back up to the clues. Again, some of these, they're asking the period. Some of them are asking the group. All right, so the group name or number. So just be really careful about what you're looking at. Again, those periods are not labeled on this periodic table, but they are you could label them down the side if you had a hard copy of this. The groups are numbered across the top. When you are done, do not forget, you should have all the boxes filled in, and you want to be all the way to the bottom, and there is a submit button down here. So you can jump up to a question over here, right? So submit, do not forget to submit your assignment. All right, I hope that helps you get started. Have a good day.